So you want to buy aftermarket wheels for your car, but you're not sure what would look best or what sizes or offsets or backspace to get, or alternatively, you know exactly what you want, but you don't want to make a mistake or even holding off because, let's be real, wheels can be an extremely expensive endeavor and you want to make sure you're getting your money's worth. Either way, if you've ever considered buying a set of aftermarket wheels for your car, this video is for you because we're going to go over how to pick the right wheels for your car. You ever just have like too much caffeine and like everything's buzzing and your face tingles? That's where I'm at right now. But before we dive right in, make sure you're subscribed. It helps us out a ton. And a huge thank you to the 656,831 of you who already subscribe and make this dream a reality for all of us. Let's get started. So we're talking about how to pick the right wheels for your car. And the one thing I got to tell people right off the bat is when you're looking for wheels is to have a goal in mind. You will regret nothing more than blindly going into buying wheels without an actual end goal in mind. So you need to figure out what that goal is. What are you trying to do with the car? Are you looking for increased performance? Is the change solely based on cosmetics? Or maybe it's even a combination of both. Or maybe you're just looking to get rid of some bent or cracked, somehow ruined wheels. Each case has its own unique options. And if you have performance in mind, you're really gonna wanna stick to something lightweight. Obviously. The first thing that comes to mind here is going to be jumping straight for that forged monoblock wheel here. The lightest and the strongest of the bunch are going to be designed for performance first and then aren't always the most pleasing to the eye. The most complementary to the vehicle's aesthetic and will typically be as small as they possibly can be. So this is where we start to see a shift towards design at a sacrifice of that weight. With wider widths, larger diameters, more concavity, and more aggressive designs. But all of this adds weight, and with that, all this added detail in a fully forged wheel, the cost goes up very, very quickly. Now, a common misconception here is that multi-piece forged wheels are going to be the lightest of the bunch. Although manufacturers can do some impressive things weight-wise with multi-piece wheels, these are often kind of up there in the weight department with all that additional hardware, and more often than not, massive size. So really the best bang for your buck with a solid focus on weight and cost-friendly ways to save that weight, you're really going to want to look into rotary formed or rotary forged wheels. But where the depth of the barrel is actually rolled or squeezed to size on a mandrel. What this allows the manufacturers to do is align the molecules of that metal in a way that makes the barrel just about as strong as a fully forged unit, ultimately allowing for the use of less material and then thus less weight. Now, this does typically cost more than a full cast wheel, but it's often less than half the cost of a fully forged wheel. It really is that happy medium of performance, look, and cost. From there, if all you're after is the look and weight isn't much of a factor, you can get a real looker. You can get a real looker for not a ton. I keep feeling like I'm saying hooker. From there, if all you're after is the look and weight isn't really much of a factor, you can get a real looker for not a ton of money when you consider a full cast wheel. Hooker. After you've established a goal, you can move on to figuring out what kind of theme you're trying to follow with your vehicle. Are you going for that more functional, performance-oriented look, or are you more into that stance scene and like big, wide, complex wheels with flashy angles and crazy colors? Or do you like a more tasteful, kind of laid-back OEM plus look, or even something that's just perfectly complements the brand of a vehicle like HREs on a Porsche, or BBSs on an Audi, or rotiforms on a Volkswagen? The theme is also what's going to have a huge influence on your sizing. And this is important because the sizing and offset paired with the design you want is going to narrow down your options relatively quickly. Anyway, if you don't have a theme to follow, it's going to be really easy to end up with a decision that you're not happy with long term. And wheels can be one of the largest investments you can make on your vehicle, so getting it right the first time is absolutely detrimental unless, well, you like wasting money.
That sounds disgusting.
Thank you. Now that we've established your desired look, go over to the gallery. And I cannot stress that enough. Go to the gallery, search your year, make, and model, and check out what other people are running. See what you like, write down the specs, the make and model of the wheels, and other mods to achieve that fitment. This is such a game changer. I mean, hell, on the right side of the screen, it's even gonna show you a price for that matching setup and everything. So now that you know what you want, let's dive into your budget. Now, typically speaking, the majority of people come to me with a $1,500 budget for both wheels and tires, leaving about $600 to $800 budget for your wheels, which is completely and totally fine. There are thousands of wheels on the website for sub $800 that look absolutely fantastic and come in really decent sizes and offsets for the money. 4-play OE, Platinum, Enki, Versus, Audhan, XXR, Avid One, F1R, and VMR are some of the first brands that come to mind that have some killer and tasteful designs at a really, really awesome price point. If your goal is specifically to upgrade in the looks department, get something a little wider, skinnier, larger, or smaller than stock, and aren't looking for vast performance improvements, these entry-level wheels present an extremely good value at this price point. Stepping up a notch from there to that, say, $800 to $1,300 budget, this really opens up a massive segment of wheel options here. From your mega popular cast units all the way up to some flow-formed wheels, there are almost endless options in this segment as well. This is where you're really going to be able to take that performance look and function to the next level with a low diameter RPF1 or similar. Get into some of the crazy sizing of the ones we mentioned in that first tier budget, and then this is also where you're going to get into your flow-formed TSWs, your Koenigs, your Artisa art-formed wheels, and get both the aesthetic and the lightweight engineering. P. Going up from here, you're going to see a large concentration of large diameter rotor reformed wheels, small diameter multi-piece wheels, and gigantic luxury oriented wheels in that $1,500 to $2,500 range. These are going to be your big, wide Rohana and Ferrados 15 and 16-inch 3-piece work wheels, your Vossens, your Vorsteiners, BBS, HRE Flowform, Lexani, Dove. There's a ton of huge names and heavy hitters here. And then stepping up past that $2,500 mark is almost exclusively forged multi-piece units with your work, Heritage forged, ESR forged, Rotiform forged, and then obviously HRE. Now this is what I like to call a big ballin' wheel. This is most often the kind of thing that us car and wheel enthusiasts dream of. These are giant, deep, concave, complex, super ridiculous, insane wheels, and I love them so much. But these get extremely expensive very, very quickly. So now it's time to move forward with purchasing your ideal set of wheels. And this is where most people start making those mistakes. Oftentimes people are going to settle for something they don't necessarily want in order to keep that cost down. Whether that's buying something in a smaller diameter or smaller width or a less aggressive offset, finish, or even go for a cast wheel when you want something light, or getting something really light when you wanted something with a little bit of flair. Do not settle. Another big mistake that people make is picking a wheel that they love that simultaneously clashes with the car that they want to put them on. Again, I cannot recommend the Gallery enough for this, because as much as I love a 20 by 11.5 Ferrado CM2 with a really aggressive offset, I can't make them fit on my E55 AMG without major poke, and then they're going to look a little bit awkward as well, being so aggressive on a not so aggressive car. So how should you buy? Should you look for something used? Should you package together wheels and tires? What about financing? Well, I cannot recommend packaging and financing enough. Packaging a set of wheels and tires together is going to save you money on each individually, plus you're going to get that free mounting, balancing, and shipping. And the guys that mount your tires in our facilities are enthusiasts like you and I with tons of low profile and high-end product experience. Anyway, this does make for an extremely convenient package. They're going to show up to your door ready to bolt on, and you're on your way. From here, you can even start adding ceramic coating that's going to keep your wheels minty fresh for years to come and a breeze to clean. Now, as you do save more, the more you add, this stuff can add up to a healthy chunk of change initially, and that's why I love the financing option, because Affirm offers multiple payment lengths and has a ton of promotions throughout the year, offering as low as 0% APR. That makes it really easy to get into the wheels that you want without spending that large sum all up front. Hello? I'm not done! But that about wraps it up for how to choose the right wheels for your car the first time. Establish a goal, designate a theme, use the Gallery to your advantage, and you will be on the fast track to a wheel decision that makes you happy. Let me know in the comments what wheels you have your eyes on, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. It helps us out a ton, and go ahead and give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the content. It helps us get in front of other car enthusiasts much like yourself. I'm Sean from Fitment Industries, Sean B.FI on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching. Peace. Peace.